So I'm going to take this texture again, just going to rotate it, I'm going to use that to place it on the back of, to be next to the wall. This will give us a little bit nice variation of texture, and some like there is some accumulation of dirt there. Now just place it right next to the edge of the texture, and just trying different overlay modes, see which one is better, fits better. Probably I go with hard light or multiply on or opacity, but hard light seems nice, so I'm just going to duplicate that piece again, get rid of any sharp edges. So merging those two, duplicating it again to create a bigger one. Now we can test the texture. So I said not sure about the overlay mode. Again, just trying to multiply again. So I'm going to try with that. So let's save the texture. Let's create a new material. So right click, hold, assign new material X, and let's load the texture. So let's rename it ground material. Click on the checkered icon and create a texture, filtering off, let's select the texture. Just take a little bit more while to load up, because of its size. Now when it's loaded up, you can see it in the viewport. Also you can see that the grime is accumulated even in front of the steps, which won't be the scenario in real life. I'm tuning down the reflectiveness again, and I always aim that the reflectiveness and glossiness be in ratio of 1. So if the reflectiveness is 0.750, so the glossiness should be 0.250. So when they're combined, it equals to 1. So just test render it, and the main problem is the grime that's accumulated in front of the steps, which when they're in real use, the grime would be much less noticeable in front of there. So just created 2 loops just to see where the grime that I need to remove is positioned. So just getting the reference from those 2 edge loops, I'm creating 2 rulers in Photoshop. Just hit Ctrl and R to bring up the rulers. So just hitting undo several times just to remove those edge loops, because they're unnecessary geometry. I'm starting deleting that grime in front of the steps. So now I can remove the roller, just drag it up and hit Ctrl and R to hide it. So again, the multiply didn't work too great, so I'm just going to with the hard light, and now I'm going to test that now. But before that, we need to create the other map but this time instead of a bump map we're going to create a displacement map, because the bump map won't be sufficient to create enough details on the ground. So again, I'm going to create to desaturate the two layers, duplicate them and desaturate them. I'm going to adjustment levels. Now I'm going to create the black and white image that I need. So when I'm moving the sliders, most of the stones are getting black, and the space between them is getting white. So I'm just trying to do that for all the stones as close as possible, but because again the displacement map that we're going to create is going to be act like a bump map, so we need to have the stones white and the space between them black. So I just inverted the texture, so the white stones push up the geometry. So the displacement map actually creates a geometry on render time, in contrast with the bump map, which just fakes a bumpy looking surface. Just trying to tweak the texture a little bit more. And if you find the texture a little bit too sharp when we do some of those adjustments, you can apply a slight Gaussian blur on top of it, just to refine the details. The grime looks good as it is. Even I can not sure if it's necessary at all, but I can leave it probably tune down the opacity. So let's leave it at that and save it as a ground displacement. Sorry, not bump. I'm going to rename the file just in a second. So let's rename that to displacement, not bump. So let's get inside Maya again. Let's not go to the bump map, but to the Mia material shader group. This is right on the left side of the actual material settings, and under displacement material we can click the checkered icon and again insert our file texture. If you don't see the shader group, you can go to the hypershade, select the material and expand all the connection nodes of the material, and then you should be able to see the shader group. The way we tweak the power of the displacement is through the alpha gain in the texture node, and now when it's set to 1, you can see that the displacement is too much for what we need. So I'm going to place it to 0.1. See that how it looks much more subtle and better, and it's the look that we need. So I'm just reloading the main color texture. Probably let's try a different number of the displacement map. So under color balance, let's try 0.2 with a new color texture. It looks a little bit more better, and as you can see, the ground pushes up the geometry ground pushes up, so we need to bring up the trash can and the bench a little bit up. So next thing we're going to texture and the final one is the trash can. So this is the UV snapshot of the trash can.